Hi, so now we're going to put the sleeves onto the fronts and the back. So first things first, put the sleeves on the front. So you're putting your two front pieces against the sleeve. So what we need to do is get the right sides together, always right sides together. So this is the right side with our pocket detail, and this is the right side of the sleeve. So you have it facing you. So we need to make sure this stitch line is facing the back. So on this one, this is the front and this is the back. This is the front, so we're going to put the front edge against the front edge. So when it opens up, just checking then, see if the stitching was right, and it confused me. When you open up, so the back will go along here. When you open it up and it becomes the sleeve, you can see that that stitch line's in the right place. Once you've got one side down, you know the other side's going to be correct because it's the one that's left. So you pin that in place. Now you can pin all these pieces. You pin the two fronts separately and sew them separately if you want. I sew them at the same time. So I'm going to put 3 pins in. So that's one side. This is the other right side of the front. But the other thing you'll notice is you may have a bit sticking up from that side piece. That's okay. Follow this front one for your edge, and then that will just snip off and neaten up in a minute. And what you're going to do afterwards, very much like with the polka dot dress, is you're going to press your seams towards the sleeve and top stitch afterwards when you've done all 4 bits. So now we're going to sew them with a 1/4 inch seam to each other. Again, we don't need to go backwards and forwards at the beginning because all of these pieces will end up in the collar seam. Pins away. So I'm just going to tidy that bit up now. I've got the scissors in my hand. So that's made that nice and neat now. Then you repeat for the second side. That's those 2 bits done for the front. So now you're going to repeat that process but onto the back pieces. So there's the right sides. That's the right side of the back. So you want the right side of the sleeve. I'm going to trim that just slightly because it's a bit messy. So right sides together, so that's going to put these two together. And then the other piece, right sides together. There's your 2 front pieces. So they're kind of like caught up in the middle. There's your back piece, your bits pinned in, so we're just going to sew them in place now. 1/4 inch seam allowance again. That side. Okay, so now what you need to do is open it up so the wrong side's facing up. I'm just going to push those seams all in towards the sleeve. And then from the right side, with a slightly longer stitch length, you're going to top stitch. Slightly longer stitch length. So when you're putting this in your machine, just make sure you hold it and push your seam, keep your seam pressed over to the right side. I don't pin it because it's so fiddly. You can just kind of hold it. If you pressed it down enough, it should be quite happy. So this is how I do it. I mean, people do individual stitch lines. I kind of, this bit here is going to be covered by the collar and be all closed in, so no one's going to see this stitching if you do it like this, and it turns into 2 sewing motions rather than 4. So I've obviously got it pressed over. Now rather than cut off your thread here, make sure your seams are pressed over, because when you come over to here, you're going to start catching the seam again. Just so your old pivot turns. Now you're at the right space. And down the other side, and that's this sleeve. Top stitched. Just going around rather than stopping and starting. Then do that to the other sleeve. So if you look at it, I'm going to start here, put it underneath, go up, across and down. Just make sure that those seams are both pushed inwards so it's nice and neat and tidy. You have to keep your needle down when you're turning it. And that is the sleeves attached to the coat. So the next part now will be that beautiful colour. But you can see it. So push up a little bit. See it starting to take shape. You can't make another one in pink. Anyway, you can see it starting to take shape. So join me in for the next video where it will be the collar and attaching the collar. Thank you, bye.